Hello everyone, this is Tegan. So for this week's prompt about the deontological frameworks, such as the divine command theory, which is more of like the moral laws that come from God, the natural law, which is just violations of the natural inclination to do good, which is one of those theories as well, is that I guess that people are like naturally supposed to do good, and then they do bad things when they go against natural like law. And then the categorical imperative by Kant also falls under that. For the moral rules that we talked about, including you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not commit adultery, I agree that those things are not justifiable morally because, as like Kant would put it, you're using those as a means to an end. So like, if you were to murder someone, you would be using that person as a means to reach your goal of, I don't know, vengeance, preventing them from like saying something that you don't want them to say, something like that. If you steal, you're using like taking advantage of someone, especially when it's like something of higher value. But your like goal is to get, I don't know, if you wanted money, if you robbed a bank, you'd get a bunch of money, but you would be like, the means don't justify the end, even if it's something that like helps you, I guess. And then like adultery, same thing. If your goal is to get satisfaction from someone else, you're using that person as a means to that end, and then because you're not usually committing to them, and then you're using your like partner or spouse as a means to an end of like security and like comfort. Other actions that would be morally wrong would also include things like cheating on assignments. Like if you were to cheat, then you would be using like off of a friend or something like that, then you'd be using your friend as a means to the end goal of getting a better grade. And your friend would kind of be, that's a tough situation for the friend to like describe, because they're also would be going against like the law of doing good, because like they know they're not supposed to be doing that and helping cheat, but I guess they could be using you as a means to an end in the sense that they want to keep the friendship going, I guess, and that they want to prove that they're like a good friend, so they're gonna like break the law. So in a way, that's kind of using them as a means to an end. It mostly goes the other way, but that would be an example that's very applicable to us as college students. I'm sure there's so many other things, including like all of the other 10 commandments and things like that, but that was probably the one that I could think of off the top of my head that's the most relatable to us.